Welcome, everybody. John Zager. Good morning, good morning. How is everyone? Oh, let's see, 60 degrees. I'm facing east here in Colorado on the eastern slope. Rained last night. Heavy clouds still this morning. Looks like we'll get some more rain today. And then I think we're done for a few days. So it was nice, and again, I'm going to appreciate the rest of today and whatever little rain we get. I'm going to appreciate it. It's going to warm up again, and summer's going to reappear. Like summer, don't like the extreme heat. So I hope wherever you're all at, you got good weather. You're having a good time, a good summer, and things are well. So, today's podcast is not a pretty picture. I'm pretty sure nobody listens to my podcasts. Leastwise, statistically, it indicates that nobody listens. The only one it says listens is myself, that goes back to make sure that it was okay, or at least presentable as a podcast. So anyway, I'm going to talk today about, I'm going to rant and rave today about heaven's not guaranteed. And maybe we should try living in reality. There's a lot of people that seem to believe, and this is about as factual as you can get. If you don't believe it, then you're in denial and you're living in a fantasy world. Get used to it. That's what you're doing. This is real coffee this morning, and it's a little warm. We're not all kids today playing in a sport. I guess they play soccer, not football. That's just another whole topic in itself. They play something called t-ball or softball instead of baseball. That's another whole topic in itself. And there's the belief from the moms, I don't know, and probably the dads for all I know. I don't have any kids, but there's a belief that everybody should win a trophy and be a winner in a game, that kids play, and nobody should be the winner or the loser. Well, that doesn't work, and it's very disturbing that you would abuse your kids and teach them such nonsense. The kid who comes in last and gets a trophy realizes he doesn't deserve the trophy. When he or she grows up and gets into the workforce and does poorly, they're not going to get a trophy. They're going to get fired. And people today believe they're no different than the kids and that they ought to get a trophy for everything that they do. Well, good luck with that one. If you have signs, and again, I bring up fairly often people that I run into that talk to me about various things going on with them, and they just ignore them, poo-poo them, and say they'll deal with an illness if they get one later on in life. Well, I don't know. If you have signs that indicate maybe your heart's not doing so well, maybe your cardiovascular system is not functioning real well, maybe your breathing's not very good, maybe your lungs are not up to capacity, maybe you got something wrong with your eyesight, maybe your hearing's not real good, maybe your digestive tract is causing problems and you're running to the drugstore and buying over-the-counter, I don't know, whatever they call that stuff, and you take all that stuff every day, all day long. Well, maybe you have digestive issues or stomach problems or ulcers or maybe you have cancer of your colon or your lower intestinal tract. Huh? No? Oh, I didn't think so. Well, then maybe you better take some of that over-the-counter medicine. Don't get alarmed if you have physical issues that are coming up. Good Lord, I don't want you to upset your life. Just ignore it. Go to the drugstore and grab something out of the I don't know, what do they call that? A pharmaceutical area or something? Where they have shelves and rows of things you can get to fix. Maybe you have gas. Go to the Walmart and buy something for, what do they have? Something called Gas X. I saw that one time. Don't be alarmed, though. If you get heavy palpitations of your heart, don't be alarmed. No. I would eat more carbohydrates if I were you and enjoy them, like you do already. And as much red meat as you can force into your mouth. Because you're obese anyway, right? You're supposed to be obese. You live in America. I walk around this town and this state's supposed to be, healthy people. I don't see anybody skinny. I don't. I see people skinny because they're sick. But they won't admit that. Have some more mashed potatoes. And alcohol. I don't know why they put a warning on alcohol. You enjoy alcohol. Just fix another, well, I guess if you're rich, you drink martinis. Big flippin' deal. If you're poor, you drink vodka. And if you're a man, then you have to drink a 12-pack of beer a day. That's a good thing to model to your kids. Dad, that's a great thing. Make sure you bring home, better yet, go grab your kid on your way home and then go to the liquor store so you can show your kid how to make a transaction at the liquor store daily. Let them see how important it is to drink your beer, because you know what? You're a man and you work hard every day. And God darn it, you ought to be entitled to drink a 12-pack of beer. By the way, anybody who wants to look me up physically and personally, just let me know and I'll be there. So what I'm saying, nobody likes, and I'm being relatively pretty calm about this. And I've reached the point where I don't have any patience anymore. I just walk around and see people that are maybe not doing so well physically and emotionally. And I talk to them, right? I mean, I talk to them. I don't say anything negative to them. I just, might suggest, hey, let's get together, have lunch or something. And, if you have a question about blah, 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 feel free to ask. And then I get the people who call up. Yeah, there are people that call up. And, they've got very specific issues. Their stress level is so high, their blood pressure's off the chart. Whatever the case is. They got physical complaints or something. And they want some coaching. And I might say, well, I usually always say $100 an hour. Good Lord, 43 years and probably worth $100 an hour to save your sorry ass. And they don't ever call back, and sometimes I'll call them back and I'll say, what's going on? Just following up, make sure you're okay, and is there anything, that I could do? If the price is the issue, figure out something and ask me if that price will work for me. And of course it will. I'm amazed. I'm amazed that people are still standing. Shouldn't be. Should not be. Everybody, and that's a generalization, I understand. But I'm going to make it, because this is what I see. Maybe you see something different in Detroit. I know nobody's listening from Detroit. Nobody gives a hoot nanny. But this is what I see in one of the healthiest states in the nation. Nobody cares. Everybody believes, well, I'll just wait until I get a disease. I get sick a fair amount and all that kind of stuff, but it's okay. And I'll just turn to my doctor, That's what medicine is for, is to get us well. Medicine kills you. Modern medicine does not have a track record on long-term terminal disease and keeping you alive. It just doesn't. Doesn't. If you believe it does, you're nuts. Go stick your head in a book. Go stick your head in a computer and try to see if you remember how to read. Will you? Go look it up. Go see what pharmaceutical drugs do to you. Oh my gosh, don't talk about pharmaceutical drugs. I take 6 of them. Yeah? Okay, good. What are they doing to you? So, we're not guaranteed, based on the way that we live our lives, that we're going to end up in heaven. This is my own personal religious belief, spiritual belief. You go believe whatever you want to believe. You know, you go to some churches or you talk to some people who belong to some various churches, religious organizations or something, and they talk as if it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter about my values and morals and what I do to my body or what do I do to treat other people or my narcissistic tendencies. Excuse me. It just doesn't matter, you know. I'm going to heaven when I die. You know, what do they call you guys? Pastors or something? Pastors? Pastors? Is it pastors or pastors? I guess I need to go stick my head in a dictionary and see how that word is used. But anyway, they tell me, you know, when at my funeral, you know, they'll say, you know, I'm in heaven. I don't know. How did you get to heaven living the life you lived? Here's my understanding. This is called reality. I think most people are headed to hell. Okay? And as near as I read and understand, you know, that's for eternity. I know that's a word you don't want to use a lot, but, you know, it's for eternity. And then when I looked up eternity, you know, in the dictionary or on the internet, it says it goes longer than next Tuesday. So that means you're probably going to be uncomfortable longer than a week. Eternity. I don't know. I don't know, but what I read, and I'm sure what I read is not what you guys read, but you don't get to graduate from hell. You know what I mean? You know, maybe you're thinking that, well, you know, I'll go to hell, but I'll get out of hell and go to heaven then. I don't think it works that way. I think once you get, you know, there, that's where you get to stay for eternity, you know. The thing that lasts longer than next Tuesday. There's thousands. I have no idea. Probably many highly qualified therapists, counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists, neuroscientists. Who knows? Very qualified people out there on the planet that are doing the same thing I'm doing. They're just trying to get the word out, and they're trying to make themselves available for, you know, if you have any issues, physical or emotional or spiritual for that matter, you know, contact us and we can sit down. I don't think offices are packed with people coming in to see counselors. I just don't think they are. I think people come in the back door. You know, they're brought in via the hospital, via the ambulance, via the police car, via the court system. You know, and they somehow get into mental health centers because they have an issue. But you know, people don't go to the dentist because they want their teeth cleaned. They go to the dentist because they have a toothache. You don't change until you have enough pain. That's science, you guys. As much as I'm ranting and raving today, what I'm talking about is science. It's factual. It can be documented. You can go and look up everything I'm saying. The statistics are there. People are more concerned with their personal enjoyment. I don't know how else to say it. You know, they want to eat the foods they want to eat. Well, you know, guess what? We can't do that. You know, they want to have the environment that they want to have. Well, guess what? You can't really do that. They want. What do we know? The way you think causes disease. Period. How more? That is so clear. Do you think you have the disease you have because your grandmother's sister had it? Are you still living in a cave that you think that's how it works? Did medicine cure her, or is she dead? Wow. I don't know. So, you have some choices. Keep living the lives that you live. Keep modeling rotten behavior and beliefs to your kids. Perpetuate the sickness in your head and in your body. Please do that. Make the next generation worse than your generation. I support you with that. If you're that selfish, then go ahead and do that. Please do that. Please harm your kids. That's what you're doing. Man, just drives me nuts. Don't call a therapist. Don't call a counselor. Don't call anybody who might be able to offer you some insight. Don't do that. You know more than they do. You know more than a psychiatrist. You know more than a psychologist. You know more than a doctor. Here's the other part. Nobody listens to this podcast. There is nobody listening to this podcast right now. Nobody. Been on forever. Well, let's just say a year, so that we're not saying things wrong. Every day for a year. I got other things to be doing. And maybe it's time that I go do other things. I guess I'm just not going to twist anybody's arm. You know, everybody wants to be sick and diseased and traumatized, and that's fine. And I think you should have hard feelings towards people. I think you should ostracize people you don't like. You know, people do that. People do that every day. People mistreat and hurt one another every single day. I don't care if you're a soccer mom. You do it too. You have moods. Well, I like her, but I don't like him. So, the takeaway. The takeaway is pretty clear. You don't get a trophy. You just don't get a trophy for waking up in the morning. You have to be of service to other people somehow. This world is not about you. And as long as you maintain that lifestyle, disease is, that's a factual statement, is going to find you. And then you can be a celebrity. I've actually heard people act like celebrities that they now have a disease. It's like, poor me, you know, that's what they're asking for. Secondary gains, they call that. You know, in my blog this morning that I wrote about the same stuff, and again, please don't go read my blog. It might have information in it you don't want to read. It might be too critical, and I don't want to have you offended, you know, by a negative statement. But, you know, it talks a little bit about our Creator inside each and every one of us, the greater intelligence, which is keeping us alive. By the way, it's not medicine that's keeping us alive. Go believe that if you want, but that's not happening. You know, He gives us do-overs every single day of our lives. Probably several times within a day sometimes. At some point in time, He's going to say no more do-overs. Time's up. It's your out time. When that moment comes, are you prepared? And we're all going to meet our Creator. I don't care what religion you are. We're all going to meet our Creator. And when that moment comes, are you prepared? Because you're probably not going to get a trophy. See you all later. Bye.